It was very, very exciting to be on stage.
So what was it like at such a young age, your second Broadway show, to get the highest honor in theater, a nomination for that?
I was blown away. I cannot tell you. Well, it really started when I was doing As Is, and I was sitting there on stage when I was doing As Is years before that saying, if I die right now, if I die tomorrow, I've been on Broadway. I've hit the top where a lot of actors really made it. So getting this Tony nomination for this role that was so well written, and the production was so ideal, and everything was just sort of ringing right at that time. It was amazing. It was amazing. I was just speechless and joyous, like you couldn't believe.
In the 80s, were there, because you did the first show about the AIDS epidemic, and then you went on to play another gay role, which we talked about, you were Tony nominated for. Today there's so many gay roles in theater, and there's so many parts for young LGBT people. Practically every new show that opens, there's like a gay role in it now. In the 80s, my
God, it's like we're everywhere.
In the 80s, it's like everything. There's like always a gay character.
It's not so novel anymore.
Yeah. So in the 80s, was it kind of like, was it a big deal to have a character like that? Or
again, from my point of view, it wasn't.
But to the general populace,
it was. I remember one review specifically. It's one of my favorite reviews. It was from the Christian Monitor, and basically about Burn This, my character of Larry, they're saying, how dare he be so comfortable on stage as a homosexual? And I love that. I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
Because it was like, it was
Why
so silly.
You
it was so silly. And I just loved reading that because I knew, like, I didn't know what I was doing was creating a character on stage in an incredibly well-written play, well-written role, well-directed, all everything. And at that time, again, I didn't have that self-knowledge, self-awareness that, I'm breaking rules, or I'm really getting out there, and all. I just, I was working on stage as I was working.
You were doing your job.
And a lot of people saying, Lou, you were one of the first out actors doing a gay role on Broadway, and I was like, wow.
Did you ever feel?
I never felt that. I just felt, again, that I was working. I was appreciative of the response I was getting, the people at the stage door and autographs and all that. That was great. The reviews were wonderful. My family was through the moon, so happy and excited, proud and all. And so I know I was creating a role that had nothing really to do with my homosexuality. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with my acting, my chosen profession.
And the character just happened to have been
my talent. That the character happened to be gay. Yeah, and I think that approach to it makes the roles I play, when I play a gay role, less threatening to a lot of people, because sometimes people are just you push buttons, and it's because you bring up a subject or you play a role that they relate to, or they're afraid of, or whatever's going on in their mind. And I think that, because to me I play a gay man. I've also played a priest who was straight. I've played a waiter. So it was another role.
So you branch out into different. You don't let one role define you, or your sexuality stereotype you or define you into roles, which is great.
Right, it's great. At the same time, I don't deny that who I am and what's there is what's going to be brought to that stage or on film. And so I draw from that as much as I can. If a character is gay or straight, it sometimes doesn't matter. If the person is in love with someone, male or female, it's still love.
It's still love.
It's still love. It just happens to be with whatever sex is written in the script.
And I think that's so important. I think that's so important for people when they go to the theater, and for our viewers to know that because this is an LGBT talk show, to know that it is just love. And so for people who don't necessarily understand a gay lifestyle, they just need characters like that. I think are really important for the theater to show, like, it's loving just like a heterosexual couple loves.
They're human. We're all human, and we all have frailties.
And I think that's really important for young viewers to hear, to know. There's so many people, young people who are like maybe in middle school or high school, and they're into the theater, and they're hiding their sexuality because of where they live, and then they see a prominent figure in the theater community who is out and proud. I think that's very important.
I know that if I was made aware of a gay man or woman who was out when I was growing up, it would have opened my eyes even more so. I think my road was a little slower in that respect because because being gay wasn't such an, again, this is my personal experience, wasn't such an issue for me.
For you. For
me personally, and I know it is for a lot of people, and so I feel that my approach, knowing that I was gay, not denying that I was gay, but just knowing that it was like my hair color, my eye color, my
it's just a
height,
part of
my
who
weight.
you are.
It was a part of who I am, and I
you.
think that's also one of the keys to my success is that people accept me as a person and as Lou.
Which is,
not as, oh, gay Lou.
Which is how it should be.
Right, how it should be.
Which is how it should be.
Exactly.
And I think that's why you're such a role model, and why I think so many young people who are going to watch this are going to say,
I hope so.
they're going to see this, and hopefully viewers from Broadway World and things like that will see this and say, well, I can be myself because he's himself, and Lou has reached this height of success by always staying true.
I think that is the bottom line. It is staying true to who you are, and I want to acknowledge you first of all, Marty. Thank you for you, because when we met last summer while you're doing hair for our theater company here in Asbury Park, if everyone and let me get into the camera here. If anyone ever meets this man, he's a bright light. I will just say that. And you are your own man, and that's what's so exciting about you.
Thank you.
And first of all, I'm honored, that you asked me. I appreciate that. But I think it's also so important what you're doing about reaching out to LGBT youth to say, just be yourself. If you need to talk to us, if you need to come to us. Here's a number, here's a website.
I think it's very important.
But I love what you're doing. You're doing amazing work.
I just think there's so many young people who live in parts of like I'm very fortunate. I have very open and accepting parents, but there's so many people who don't. And I think by letting people know that there are successful people in the world who are happy and out
and success. I think it's also important to remember that success isn't necessarily money. Success is happiness. Success is happiness and satisfaction with what you choose to do with your life. And trust me, I'm no millionaire. And I always tell people with the Tony nomination, it's not a check doesn't come with it.
Yeah.
But it's opened up a lot of doors, and I was lucky about that for that to happen. And I've also been very blessed that my support system, my family, my partner, my friends, and my agents, and all are incredibly supportive and know that I'm gay and I'm out to them and comfortable with them, and know that I'm open to really any roles that they want to send me. And if again, I don't know if I've ever been discriminated against, but if there's ever been a theater that was sort of uncomfortable with me, I don't know. That's their loss. I have to say that, but that again, I want to get back to saying I think it's very important that LGBT youth has this opportunity through the internet and through connections, helplines and everything, to reach out to us. And as an elder member of the community, man, did I age myself. It's great to be able to talk to young actors and young performers and helping them whatever way I can to help them get along. If they have any questions, they can certainly send them to me through you.
Through my website.
Through your website. That's great.
I thank you so much for coming and talking to us today.
My pleasure.
And I know the viewers are really going to enjoy all the words of wisdom you have.
Wisdom.
And
don't knight me yet.
So just thank you so much. And
my pleasure.
This means so much to me. Thank you.
My pleasure, Marty. Really.
Thank you so much.
You're so wonderful.
Thank you. And for all of our viewers, Lou Liberatore, Tony nominee, and coming up next week, we have Brian Charles Rooney. We will see you guys next week, and thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you, Lou.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.